Hey, let me get me some water. Woo! Who is here already? I'm loving it. Happy Monday. Hey, Mom. Where my notes at? I think I had some notes. Let me get them. Damn. I know your girl looking good in the dress. You ain't got to tell me. I know already. Thank you. Look, for the TikTok people. Okay, I'll be right back. Didn't even print. That's all right. I got it. Hey, Miss Paula. Happy Monday. Oh, let me get to it. Happy Black History Month to, hey, Carla. No, I am not. No, this is not Jamaica. This is my power to the whatever the people that's left. Okay. But that's it. So I was trying to do my I was trying to do my colors, even though I'm straight from the United States. Okay. But I had to rep just a little bit, okay? Because your boy is trying us with the lowercase b for Black Americans when we should be uppercase B for Black Americans, just like we do any any and every other race. Okay, so but it's all good. So I'm glad y'all are here. Lord, I did not think I was going to be here today, but I am. And as always, thank y'all for being here. I give y'all a couple minutes, but please, by all means, if y'all got any questions, please ask them, because y'all know we're finna get into these food stamps. We're finna get into some of these changes. This is more changes. Okay, thank you. Okay, look, I'll be having to sit down because I'm not trying to show off all the goods and everything just yet. Not yet. Asha Kelly, I do not know who you are. I'm sorry, sweetheart. So all my TikTok people, if you have not followed me before, please hit the follow button. Okay? Because just go on hit that follow button. And if y'all have any questions, thank you, Cassie. And I will be starting on your stuff today. So So let me see. So again, if y'all got any questions, please drop those. As always, y'all know I try to run down and answer any and every question that I possibly can to keep y'all informed and do all the other stuff that I be doing. But I appreciate and I'm thankful to God that I'm able to be busy doing stuff. Because when you idle, it's a setup for failure. You get depressed and all that stuff. So I advise anybody that's, suffering with depression or whatnot, find yourself doing something. And I promise you, you will not have time to think about what's going on in your life. Okay. So, and yes, Carla, me and you have to talk sometime tomorrow, please, because we got a couple things we need to take care of. Okay. Hey, Miss Aura. Okay. Girl, it ain't never no good news, and it probably won't be no good news for a little while. But regardless of what, I at least want to tell y'all what's the what, okay? So again, if y'all got any questions, please drop those, and let me just go ahead on and get started. First and foremost, again, thank y'all for being here. I appreciate it very, very much. Y'all definitely keep me on my toes. Y'all always got me looking for something that I can bring to y'all. That hey. Just good information. Okay. So Before I get into the Trump stuff, let me just really quick get into, I got a couple phone calls and I got a couple people that asked me a few things, and I always like to share those things with y'all. So I had an individual, an elderly guy called me today, and I swear I don't even know how he found me, but I thank God that he did. And he said, I just bought a car, and he said that I found the sticker price is $1,400 cheaper than what I actually bought the car for. So here's just something for y'all for educational purposes, because he never heard it. And I was actually surprised, like, people don't know this, but I'm gonna tell y'all. If you are in the market for and you're shopping for a car, all right, just let me let y'all know. Whenever y'all see the stickers that's in the window, okay, and it gives you a price, normally what you will see, sometimes you'll see two prices. You will see the MSRP. MSRP stands for manufacturer suggested retail price. Okay. Keyword is suggested. This individual was upset and wanted to know if he was able to sue because the car dealership charged him $1,400 more dollars than the sticker price. Okay. But I want y'all to understand that the sticker price has absolutely nothing to do with the dealership. Manufacturers who actually make the cars, Chevy, GMC, Toyota, Honda, Acura, y'all know, they can tell a dealership what they suggest the price should be. All right, with all that we've done and all these features and this, we think you can get away with selling a car for about 15. But if a dealership wants to sell that car for 18, the difference in between those prices, that is all profit for the dealership, and the dealership has every right to sell the car for whatever price they want to. So if you are in the market for a car, I hope y'all not, but if y'all are, because car prices is sky high, please search and look up the MSRP, the manufacturer suggested retail price, so that you can see if the person selling you the car is trying to rip you off by charging you a whole lot more. And sometimes you may find that they'll sell it for the same price or cheaper. Most places do not sell it for the suggested price. That's what the S is in the MSRP stands for, suggested. Okay. So the individual said to me, well, I'm an elderly individual. He can't do that to me, right? And I said, I apologize, sir, but age has nothing to do with it. Okay. A car dealership has every right to put the price for what they want. It is up to you, the consumer, to do your research before you go out and buy a car. So if you are in the market for a car, don't let these people just put you in any vehicle and you didn't do your research to see what the suggested retail price is. So maybe that spoke a word to somebody, maybe it didn't. But this individual, he said, thank you for your help, even though you didn't really help me, but you did at least help me understand. So I told him that he can make a complaint that if he felt like somebody was trying to rip him off or something like that. But in this case, they were not. They had every right to make the price of the vehicle whatever they wanted. It is up to you to do your education. What y'all gonna find out, and this ain't just from Trump. This ain't just our government. This is anybody you do business with. If you don't do your own homework and your own research, you will always find yourself at the bottom, or you will always find yourself being played. You will always find yourself being taken advantage of, because they don't owe you anything. You owe yourself. Okay. So this ain't me getting on anybody. And I know I'm probably a little hyper right now, but that's probably because I just got in. Okay. But so I just want y'all to know that y'all need to, if you're looking for something, and that's pretty much anything. Okay. Suggested retail price. And y'all, and ladies, y'all should know this, because if y'all shop at TJ Maxx, Ross, and Marshalls, y'all will see the price that Coach and Calvin Klein says it's going to be. And then there's the price that Ross, Marshalls, and TJ Maxx sells it for. So that is their, I don't want to call it an MSRP, but it's their suggested price to sell their item for. But you go to these stores to get it for a cheaper price. Okay. So if y'all did not know, now you know. Okay. And please, again, drop any questions that you may have. All right. My next question. So I had a lot of people And I'm going to tell y'all, because I'm about to do this with everybody in my family, and I highly suggest that y'all do this with everybody in your family too. One thing for certain is always going to happen is we all are going to die. Okay? Don't know how it's going to happen. I am not God, but it is guaranteed that you will not always be here. So if you care about your family members and your loved ones, I'm going to give y'all a couple things that I like y'all to at least make sure is up to date. Okay? If you do not have a life insurance policy, I highly suggest you get one. You can get a whole life policy. You can get a term life policy, but you need to get life insurance. Okay. If you have somebody has terminal illness or they already have health conditions, high blood pressure, they may got heart problems. Yes, you may find that insurance rates are going to be higher. So some of you will opt to go and get term life because it's cheaper, but you need life insurance. And if you already have life insurance, for the people that don't have it and the people that do have it, y'all need to make sure, especially the people that are now getting a policy, y'all need to go and check and see who y'all beneficiaries are, okay? Because some of y'all probably had life insurance policies from way, done got divorced, done got 3 new boyfriends, done got more kids, whatever, and you haven't updated your information. And I promise you, you being dead and the money going in the hands of somebody that you didn't want to is the worst thing that can happen. And you can't do anything about it because you were dead and you cannot change a thing. So if that is you, if I'm talking to anybody, please go and check your beneficiaries on your life insurance policy. And you do not have to have one, okay? They do allow you to have multiple. You can split it in percentages. You can have a successor. So if I make my mom, who's older than me, say if I make my mom my beneficiary and she passes right after me, where does the money go? I need a successor beneficiary, somebody that the money would go to next. Okay. So that's something that I want every single one of y'all to go and do. The next thing I want y'all to go and do is at your bank accounts. Bank accounts do not have to be put in wills. Bank accounts do not necessarily have to be put in trust. But what you guys need to do is make sure you have one or two things. Somebody needs to be on your signature card, meaning this person doesn't have to have a debit card, but it's almost like an authorized user on your credit cards. In the event you pass, you need to have somebody that also has access to the bank account so that they can withdraw your money. Because I'm going to tell you what the bank does. You in the bank, you crying because somebody done passed away and you trying to pull out the last bit of money that's in that bank account. And as soon as you tell them, man, they just died last week, you know what the bank gonna do? They're gonna say, I'm sorry, but because you done gave us that information, we are gonna have to freeze these funds and you will not be able to touch these funds until you bring us some proof by the courts, through the probate court, that you have a letter of administration to handle, to have access to this bank account, and or you made a trust and you made that person the trustee. Or you can do like I said, make sure somebody's on that signature card, or you can ask to add a payable upon death agreement on your account, so that if you pass, once that person comes in and says that you have passed, more than likely they're going to want a copy of that death certificate. The person that you gave the right to get the access to your money, they will be able to do it seamlessly, and the bank will not give them any problem. Cassie said, I swear we just had to go through this for my husband, bad pal. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry to hear that. But this is why I talk about these things. And it's mostly because y'all reach out to me, and I feel like the stuff that y'all ask me is the stuff that everybody needs to hear. Okay. Death is something we are all going to have to deal with at some point in our life. And we need to stop acting like it doesn't exist, especially us Black folks. We are the absolute worst. when it comes to preparing for death, because we live like we're going to live forever, and we don't. We have the same amount of time as everybody else. Okay. So y'all, let me run it back. Check your beneficiaries on your life insurance policy. If you don't got life insurance, you need to get one. If you can't afford whole life, get a term life. And if y'all know me, y'all know I believe in being your own bank. And the only way you can be your own bank is to have a whole life insurance policy. Let that policy mature. And once it earns cash value, you can take money from that life insurance policy and use it for what you want and continue to pay yourself back while you're still making your regular payments, and you're paying yourself interest, and you're not borrowing from anybody. So for people who have bad credit, y'all definitely need life insurance. Mind you, life insurance rates do go by your credit. So I don't want you to have bad credit. I want you to have good credit, because your rates the rates will go by your credit, along with other things too, but your credit is definitely one of them. Okay. Y'all sharing like this, please. I appreciate it, because somebody needs to hear it. Not for nothing, but somebody ain't waking up tomorrow. That's just guaranteed. And that ain't me putting nothing out there on anybody, but that's just guaranteed. Somebody dies every single day. And unfortunately, the family members are stuck, don't know what to do when it comes to probate. And here we are. Okay. The second thing I said, y'all need to go to your bank accounts. Some of y'all have several. Y'all can get on that phone. I prefer you go to the bank, because a lot of times they don't want to talk to you about these things over the phone. And you can say, hey, I'd like to add somebody on my signature card so that they can have access to my account. Or I would like to update my payable upon death agreement, so that when a form or whatever they call it at the bank, make sure that when you pass, you got somebody's name on it, so they can come in and now they can take a hold of your funds. Okay. Why? Because they need the money. All right. A lot of times that insurance check ain't kicking in that quick, and these people at these funeral homes want to be paid. So we need to make sure we do that. Hey, T Black, which one can you borrow from? T Jones said, which one can you borrow from? You can borrow from a whole life policy. You cannot borrow from a term life. The only good part about a term life is that it's cheaper. Okay. But I'm going to tell you, and I'm going to just keep it real. For some of us that have these nephews, cousins, boyfriend, husbands, baby daddies, sons, daughters too in these cases, if they are living that street life, more than likely, those are the individuals that you want term life policies on, because statistics say they won't live long, okay, because of their lifestyle. So if you, and it's unfortunate, okay, I'm 45 years old, okay, and I'm very happy to be able to be at this age, because there are a lot of people that won't reach this age, and I hope to continue aging out, okay, and living as long as God wants me to live. But because I'm not running the streets, I'm not out here popping perks, I'm not, all of that, I'm not doing those things. Chances are, statistics say I have a much chance, I have a longer or a better chance of living a longer than a lot of folks. So if you have somebody that's living a wild lifestyle, I'm not telling you to bet that they're going to pass, but the numbers usually are not wrong. Okay. That's why they have actuaries. That's why they have people do this for a living. Their job is to come up with the percentages of how long a person will live. This is how and they hire these people to work for insurance companies. Okay. So get you a term life policy on those people. Term life policies can go all the way up to 70. Most of these young Black males, unfortunately, won't live to see that. They most of the time don't even live to hit 50. It's very sad. But for $7 a month, I'm going to put them on there. Okay. Because one, I'm tired of seeing GoFundMe's. It's not anybody else's job to pay for a funeral that you didn't plan for. You knew Ray and Peanut and Twan and them was in them streets. They carrying guns, they selling drugs, they doing all these things. You know the chances of them living a long time is very slim. But when they pass, now you want me to share your GoFundMe with 20 people. That's not my job. It was your job to make sure that you covered them, because chances are they're not gonna live. I'm sorry. So I'm not telling everybody to run out here and go get life insurance and policies on everybody, but if you can afford it, then you should do that. Okay. You are right. We are immortal. But regardless of we're immortal or not, bills still got to be paid. You got to be cremated or you got to have a funeral. I have yet to see anybody die and somebody just throw their body off and bury them in the backyard like we used to do dogs. So nice comment, but that's not going to work for me. Okay. But if you do whatever you want to do, let me see what she said. That was Andrea 34. She said, baby, we are immortal. This is just a body. Okay, sis. Take the body and bury it in the ground and grow a tree. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some money on that person so that I can give them a proper burial. All right. Now, I still may bury them in the yard and grow a tree, but at least I'm going to be able to afford the casket I'm going to put them in or to be able to give them a funeral. So you do what you want to do. But us over here, we plan. And that means we plan for death. We plan for success. We plan for everything. That's just how it goes. Okay. But moving right along. And I'm going to get to y'all questions in a minute, okay? Because I see y'all asking. The next thing I'm going to need y'all to do is y'all need to familiarize yourselves with, because somebody said, well, what about a living will? And I said, I don't think anything's wrong if a person wants to do a living will, but here's the problem. Most of y'all don't know the difference between a will or a trust. And I'm not talking about we rich over here and we got trust fund babies. I'm not talking about that kind of trust. That's for rich folks. And a lot of us ain't rich, okay? But we know that regardless of what our income level is, we still die the same, all right? So here is a quick way to do this. A trust, folks, is the only document that you can have that once the person dies, immediately makes the person you put down as the trustee, that's the person that oversees everything that you chose, it becomes active immediately. You die at 1:59 p.m. At 2 p.m., the trustee is activated and they can do everything that you would have done if you were alive. A will, on the opposite end, does not do that. If you have a will, you have to take that will, file it at the courthouse, fill out probate paperwork, and then you have to submit it to the court. Oh, and did I mention you have to pay the court? You got to pay the court, and you're going to wait anywhere from 1 to 6 months for the court to determine if you are going to be approved to be the person to I forgot what they call the person over the wheel. I'm about to get the wrong word. It don't even matter the name of the person right now. And if y'all know, put it in the thing. But the will basically is not does not exempt you from going through probate. The only thing that does is a trust. And I need y'all to get that in your spirit, your heart, and your mind, because we are quick to talk about, I got a will and I'm like, you got a will? That's great. But what happens if you own a house and you die and then your kids call a mortgage company and your kids say, well, my mama just died. You know what they're going to say? Same thing. We can't talk to you because by law, the only person whose name is on this document was your mama. But if you say, well, I got a trust, then all you got to do is fax over that death certificate, baby, you in charge. Okay? Very important stuff that we don't do. And the reason that we don't do it is because, and that's why this whole channel is here in the first place, because people don't share information and they want to keep you dumb. And if you choose to want to be that way, and I don't mean dumb as calling you dummies, dumb as keeping you ignorant, keeping you without having the information. If you don't have the right information, you don't know what to do. You don't know how to act. Okay. Once somebody passes, I don't know how many times I've seen people homes get taken, how many people's cars have gotten repoed, how many people who could not get access to a bank account, all because they did not take an hour out of their lifetime to write down what they need, take it to a notary and get it notarized. and just sit on it. So I'm not telling you not to do a will, but what I am telling you is a will is not your friend. Okay, you can always have, to me, a will is I have these scissors and I want these scissors to go to Susie. And then I got this roll of tape and I want this roll of tape to go to Bobby. That is what a will does. A will is your map of instruction to tell you who gets what. But the will does not give you the speaking authority. What gives you the speaking authority is that letter of administration that you have to wait 1 to 6 months for the court. Now, why does it take 1 to 6 months, Shamika? Because the court wants to see two things. One, is somebody going to challenge that will? So if your mama got 4 kids and you applied to be the one to be the testator, that's what it is. To be the, is it testator? Hold on, let me see. Executor. Thank you, Nicola. The executor. I appreciate that. So they want to, so you say, I'm applying to be the executor of this will because my parents died, but I got 3 other siblings. The court wants to wait to see if your other 3 siblings are also going to file that paperwork. Now, if all 4 children apply to be an executor, now the court has to make that decision. Now y'all see why everybody be fighting when people die? Because everybody wants to be the one in charge. But if you already have it set up and already done that trust and already picked who's going to be that trustee, baby, can't nobody argue because you don't put your foot down. And I feel like even in death, this mouth still going to be running. And the only way to do that is through your paperwork. So that is what I like to see some of y'all, not some of y'all, all of y'all do, because that's exactly what rich people do. That's exactly what they do. Us, we be too busy worrying about how to pay these bills, stressing out, and then guess what? Have a stroke and die. And now we got to GoFundMe. You can't pay for this. You lost your house because it took too long for the courts to get your paperwork back. Now you stuck. So I don't want to see that happen. Okay. Let me see. Power of attorney. Some of y'all may not want to do that. I personally, it's just me. If I know I have somebody that I can trust, I will always do a power of attorney and tell that person to sit on it. Now, let me just tell you why. And I'm just going to throw some stuff out there, especially since we're talking about with the Trump and all the stuff he doing. So let's just say you one of those people, you might have been illegal. You've been over here for a long time. You don't got a house. You got about 3, 4 cars. You got these kids. You got all that. And then one day ICE come and take you and deport you back to your country. You know what that will allows you to do? Be that person. See, a lot of us don't plan for things that we don't know will happen because we assume nothing's going to happen. But what happens if you mistakenly get caught up in a mistaken identity and you happen to go to jail and you in jail for a while? Y'all know it ain't easy to get out for those who have been. But you know what that power of attorney does? It gives that person a right to be you. So now there are things they can do on your, well, not things, they can do everything on your behalf like you would do. So even though you might think it's silly, but if it's somebody that you trust, you know, you trust them, that they're not going to go open up bank accounts, you trust that they're not going to go out and get credit cards and sell your house from up under you. Now, that's the main thing. You got to have somebody you trust. And that's the same for every document that you do. But if you got somebody that you trust, you should have a power of attorney, even if you don't use it. And you know what else you should do? Get you a safe deposit box. They $7, $8 at the bank. Get you one. You know why? Because nobody knows about that safety deposit box but you and the person that know that you told. The bank don't even know. They don't know. They know you got one, but they don't know what's in it. They can't go in it. So some of us be wasting money on going out to eat and drinks, weed, all these other things when we can take $50. Let me go on and pay this. Let me go on and pay for my safety deposit box. Let me go on and pay this $7, $8 for my term life policy insurance. Let me go. These are some of the things we should be planning for. I don't like to talk about death, but it happens and we should be planning for it. Okay? We absolutely should be planning for it. Just like the woman that hit me up and said my husband passed, and I don't even know how to get his tax refund. You think the IRS ain't gonna give her the runaround to try to hold on to that money as long as they can until she can prove that she has the right to get his money? Of course they're gonna do it. They're gonna throw every legal law at you. Everything they can throw in your face, they will to slow you down. But if your paperwork is right, they can't mess with you. Okay? So I want y'all to keep that in mind. Let me see what y'all saying real quick, and then we're gonna come back to it real quick. Yes, Carla, it has been busy, honey. Yes. Hey, Miss Sharon. Let's see. Nicola says the bank knows without you reporting. I'm telling you, they know. The bank be knowing. And the way these systems be talking to each other, oh, they know. Absolutely. Just like Social Security, if somebody getting Social Security, oh, Social Security gonna tell. They gonna know. Okay, now they'll pay you. They gonna keep paying until they find out that the person died. But once they find out that that person died, you're gonna have to pay all that money back. And they're gonna make you prorate. So the person died on the 15th, you got to give them the money from the 16th on to the 31st back. Okay, so ain't nobody coming here to help you. The government is not your friend. They are not. You have to tell them what you want them to do for you. Okay. Yes, Nicola said you need life insurance. Yes, you do need life insurance. I don't know how many times I say that people need life insurance, and I'm telling you, you need it. Notarized letter is not going to work at all. Now, some states, let me correct myself, because I know, like in Arizona, you can write your will down on a piece of on a napkin and they'll take it. But again, we don't want wills. We need trust so that the person can automatically gain access to everything you have just by that piece of paper. A will does not give you that access. So I would not waste my time. When somebody be trying to go back and forth with me about a will, well, my state allows me to do this. And I'd be like, oh, okay. Yeah, your state allows you to do all that. But probate court was invented for a reason. So you can go to probate court if you want to. Because let me tell you what else why they make you wait 1 to 6 months. Because not only are they going to wait to see if your siblings gonna try to become the executive, they want to see if your creditors are going to come and say, this is Macy's, and they owe us about $8,000, and we believe this person has a significant amount of assets, and we would like to be paid. And if you did not know, now you know. Creditors have every right to come after you, even in death, to take their money back. Now, sometimes they don't want to because it's chump change. A lot of times they're just going to write it off, but it doesn't mean that they won't. And I don't want to give them even a foot. Look, I can't even make an inch. This about it. I'm not even giving them this much room to come in and say that they're going to take what I have worked hard for, what y'all have worked hard for. Okay. So the only way to do that is to be smart. You can get you a trust. And let me let y'all know, y'all do not have to spend thousands and thousands of dollars on no trust. You do not. The only reason y'all getting a trust anyway is so that the person can have the access to speak for you in the event you pass. That is it. You can go on eForms. You can go on a lot of these legal sites, and you could just create yourself one. Put the person's name in there. I've done some for people and give it to them and say, hey, take this over here to the notary, get it notarized, and do not file it with the court. Let me tell you why. Because once you file something with the court, it becomes public. And if you don't want anybody to know what you own, why would you file your paperwork with the court? Because your trust is going to list everything that you got, because you want these people to have access to your mortgage company, to your bank, to your life insurance. You want them to have access to all that. But if you turn around and file it with the court just going to scan it, put it on file. And now when I go into the system and I type your name in, I'm going to see your trust live as ever online. So don't file it with the court. There's nothing that says that you have to. All you need to know is you made it and you selected a trustee. The trustee needs to know that they are the trustee once you die. Let them have a copy. And that's it. And so once you pass away, the trust becomes active. And that's why I said put it in a safe deposit box, because why? People lose stuff, houses burn down, lots of things happen. And if you don't think that person is good at keeping records, give them a key. Give them a key. Now they can go to the bank, go in that room in there, open it, and there go your documents. So you do not have to file it with the court. I wouldn't even recommend you file it with the court, because basically your left hand is telling your right hand, and that's not how the game goes. Okay, you never let one know what the other one is doing. Everybody will tell you that. Okay, so we don't do that. Okay, all right. Let me see what you're saying. It says, sadly, when my relative passed away, the funeral home contacted the bank and notified them of the death. I'm telling you, and that is not even the funeral home's damn job. It's not their job, but they will. And you know why people do stuff like that? Because you got greedy people out here who will take somebody's money in an instant. So when people pass away, you're right. Funeral homes have now become the gospel. Okay, they gonna tell the insurance company. They get the information from the hospital. They basically bypass the family member and talk directly to the funeral company. And it's sad that the funeral company contacted the bank, because in my opinion, that's not none of their business. But they had a right. They're gonna do it, and the bank gonna listen to them, because the bank feels like, well, we don't want them to come and commit no fraud on this account. So if they feel any kind of skepticism or scared, and a lot of times it's in their policy that once they find out a person is deceased and you don't have no paperwork, shut that account down, freeze those funds. Now, be my guest and let that happen to you if you want. But remember, them insurance checks don't cash and don't come in that quick. So somebody, and then get this. When the insurance checks come, for most time, they're gonna pay that funeral company first, and you gonna get what's left over. So please, 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 and we got somebody right here. I didn't even know this happened. And Cassie, I'm so sorry. Baby girl, I'm sorry that happened. But this is exactly what they do. So to protect yourself, and now that you went through this horrible lesson, now you can tell somebody else. One, Shamika was right. Okay. And then two, what you went through, so that they can prepare. Because what I don't want is to see somebody else go through something that is preventable. Because this is preventable. Okay. David Hefner says, nah, don't say that I understand what you're saying. I'm an ex-kingpin. I don't know. Okay, David, I don't know where that came from. Hopefully you know what I'm saying. Nicola says you can get term life and later switch it over to whole life. You can. You absolutely can. But I just want people to realize, yes, you could get term life and switch it to whole life. But here's the downside. If you got term life and say you had it for 20 years and now you want whole life, it's going to cost a whole lot more because 20 years has passed. Me, I put term life on people that I know live a shady lifestyle. Why? Because statistics say that they ain't going to live long. Okay? Or I put it on people whose policies I cannot afford. So if somebody is 70 years old, they got cancer, they got high blood pressure, diabetes, the eyesight almost gone, the glaucoma, whatever, those people would get term life, because whole life policy would kill you in the amount of money that you would have to pay. And some places just ain't going to cover them. Okay. So, and you are right, Nicola. And Nicola is our resident life insurance expert over here. But yes, you can go from term to whole. But keep in mind, don't try to be cheap and then find out 20 years later, damn, I should have got it whole life when I had the chance, when it was cheaper. And remember, the longer you stay away from whole life, that's the less money you're going to get, because whole life is the only insurance policy you could borrow from. Term life has no cash value. Okay. Baby girl, the subject is whatever you want it to be. Okay. T. Jones, what's the question? What Carvette asked? Let me see. Okay, she already asked that, so I answered that. So no, notarized letter will not work. Let me see. Let me keep going. It says mine's come out of my banking. Congratulations. I like to hear that. Mine's do too. I just told, hey, I told my mama, I said, look, got life insurance on you at an older age. I know it's a little bit expensive, but the only thing I'm concerned with doing right now is giving you a proper burial. But you know what else I told her? I said, I love you so much, but even in your death, you are still going to benefit us, your children, for generations. Now, this is going to blow y'all mind, but Trump did it. That means y'all can do it too. I told my mama, when you pass, I'm burying you in your own yard. And this is the reason why. Because I don't want to have to pay no property taxes on that property no more. So your yard is now gonna be the family grave. Now you only got to do all you got to do is have one person. Okay, y'all can check with your states, but if I'm not mistaken, the majority of the 50 some odd states will allow you to bury someone in your yard. And once you bury in your yard, you don't have to pay property tax on that property anymore because you use it for burial. Okay? Check it out for yourself if you don't believe me, but it is true. Okay? So I told her, we're gonna bury you, we're gonna plant a tree. So when we see that tree, we can always think of you. But we also gonna thank you because we also ain't got to pay no property taxes no more. Okay? Bam. So I mean, she passed away anyway, so it ain't gonna hurt her feelings not one bit, and it should not hurt none of y'all's also. So some of y'all need to be having these conversations with your family members because they dropping anyway. Okay, so we need to sit down and have this conversation with the family. Hey, y'all got y'all trust. Y'all, I mean, do y'all even at least got a will? Y'all know I don't care for wills, but if you're a person that have a lot of things, I have a lot of things. Okay, so I might want all my shoes to go to this person, and all my jackets to go to this person. So I don't mind having a will for those things, but bigger items, nah. Let me go and get that trust. And I ain't gonna say who I'm gonna pick because you don't know who watching, but I already know who's gonna handle all my stuff in the event that I pass. And I make sure that I talk to them and let them know when I pass, this is what I would like done with my things. Hopefully, the person you picked is somebody you can trust, but that's how it's supposed to go. Okay. Miss Ora says she is a notary and she will notarize it for you. So if you are in Miami, they will Miss Ora will notarize your paperwork for you. Now let me make a segue real quick since I'm bringing up Miami. So I will make a video on this, but the city of Miami is trying to get more people to buy homes. Okay, I don't know why. Well, I do know why, but they are. So what they're doing, and it's starting this month, February, and I will get the exact date, and or I'll send it to you so you can tell your folks. They are allowing you to get a loan for it's either $30,000 or $50,000 that is forgivable if you will buy a home. They will give you this money to put towards your house, your down payment. And if you stay in the house for, I believe it's 5 years or 7 years, they will forgive that amount of money that they gave you because they are trying to encourage people to buy homes. These are the type of programs we need to be getting our hands on. Programs that will encourage you to buy homes, that will assist you in getting a home. Now, I'm sure there's probably some things about it. Maybe it may not be in the best neighborhoods. I'm not certain yet because they haven't spoke on all of that. But they are doing forgivable loans starting this month in Miami. If you would live in Dade County, all you got to do is stay in your house for a certain amount of time. Okay, so since we was on Miami, I just thought I'd bring that up. Okay. Okay. Hey, T Black. All right, so let me go back over here because I know y'all saying some stuff. Thank you, T Jones. T Jones said great information. T Black says, how long does the whole life take to mature? Most life insurance policies start maturing after like 5 years. Now, you might see some after 2 years, but in 2 years of having a life insurance policy, baby, it's not even worth it. You might get $40. You might get $100. But it also depends on how much of a life insurance policy you have. If you have a $100,000 policy, maybe in 5 years, you might be able to borrow $5,000, $10,000 from them. Maybe it might take longer than that. This is why your girl tell y'all when y'all have these kids to get life insurance policies on them. Now, some of these financial gurus like Dave Ramsey, I've looked at his methodology. He'll tell you, don't get life insurance policy on anybody that's not working because life insurance is only supposed to be to make up income once somebody in the family dies. I completely disagree because most people don't have the money now anyway. Okay, so if somebody is born, y'all seen Gerber life insurance. Why y'all think they give life insurance on babies? Now, why? Because Well, one, to me, I think it's a little crazy. It's a term life. But if you could get a whole life insurance policy on a child, that's the best time to do it because it's super cheap and it doesn't ever change. The price you get when you get it is that for life. Now, you do got to make sure you pay. But think about this. Think if you were to get a life insurance policy on your child when they turn 1. Then they 18. They done graduated high school. Now they finna go to college. Dude, that's 17 or 18 years that policy has sat and done nothing but mature cash value. So once that child turns 18, guess what can happen? They don't got to go to the bank. They don't got to ask Mr. Banker, can I get a 7, 8, 12, 14%? Because we don't know what their credit going to be. They don't have to go get a loan. They can borrow from what you did for them as a parent, a responsible parent, and they will borrow and have money to buy their own things. And once they once they take that loan out for a car, they're going to continue paying their regular monthly premium, which is going to be cheap because you got it when they were born. And then they pay back some additional with interest to themselves. So, I mean, they're going to pay with interest back to the bank. So why not pay with interest to yourself? That's the kind of math I like. I don't know about y'all, but that's my kind of math where I'm paying myself with interest versus me paying somebody else with interest. And the only way that can happen is by taking out life insurance policies. Do it while they're young, y'all. I'm telling you, it's the smartest thing you can do. Just like I tell y'all to get a business on when these kids become young too, and keep it going annually every year and add business credit. Why? Because you ain't never got it. By the time they turn 16, you ain't never, because kids can start using credit at 13. They start building credit at 13, but by the time they hit 16, 18, now they got a whole credit file that's been around for 18, 20 years. They never have to use their own social security number to get a credit card. They'll be using the EIN. Okay? So 2 ways. Life insurance policy, business. 2 things that I know y'all can afford because you do it right now. And don't tell me you can't afford it because I go into your closet. I am sure I'm going to pull out some Air Force Ones and I'm going to pull out some Jordans. Okay? Let me somebody hit the like button real quick for me real fast. And I ain't even got to the good stuff that we're going to talk about today. But okay, let me see. That's right. Nicola said, like and share, folks. Thank you. Nicola says they can get annuities and eventually be able to borrow from them in 2 years. Okay, thank you. So, and if you don't know what an annuity is, it's basically a monthly payout of your money. Okay, not nobody else's money, your money, and you can do it in as little as 2 years. Okay, please don't be sitting around here acting like we can't have some money because we can. Now, it may not be on Bill Gates and Donald Trump's scale, but we can have money on our scale and still live comfortably because we plan. And even if you start late, it's never too late. Okay. It says get an accident. Okay, baby girl said get an accident policy. There is nothing wrong with getting an accident policy. There's nothing wrong with getting like long-term disability. A lot of these insurance plans are not bad. My thing is, if you have life insurance and you've had it for a while, you already have your safety net of cash that you don't have to worry about having long-term disability. Now, one policy that I do stress that a lot of people don't get is a cancer policy. I have had a cancer policy for a very long time. You cannot beat the things that they give you. Just going to the hospital, $175. You know, you get they pay you for so many different things. And if I'm being honest, what doesn't give a person cancer? Perms for Black girls is giving cancer. Okay, smells in the air is giving cancer. There's almost nothing that you cannot be exposed to that doesn't some kind of way somehow turn into something that can be cancerous. And let's not even talk about colon cancer, because Black men, very high numbers, are getting it way more than anybody. That's why their thing ain't working by the time they hit 50. Okay. So cancer policies, if you can get it, it's worth it. I think I paid like $15. It's worth it. At least I know if something happens, I got coverage. They finna pay for these tests. They finna pay for my hospital visits. And in the event I die, bam, here you go, mama, or here you go, sisters. Now you got some money. This is what we need to be doing, taking care of our family, because we are not going to be here always. We just not. All right. Thank you. Jody said gems. I'm always try to drop those as much as I possibly can. Let's see. Miss Ora, I don't know what you mean by the 15 years. Okay, so I just got approved for the $50,000 loan to fix up my house. Well, I guess as approved for the first stage, just waiting for the contractor to come. Congratulations. Congratulations, Miss Ora. All right, David says, do you know any healthcare agents doing any hiring in Florida out in the field where you submit submissions? Healthcare agents doing any hiring? No, I on the strength, I do not. But I will tell you, you can go on Indeed, you can go on LinkedIn. Healthcare is always going to be a budding industry. You know why? Because they want to keep you sick. People gonna get sick. People living wild and crazy. People having sex, doing all kind of things. People gonna do drugs. I mean, healthcare ain't going nowhere. Okay, they're not. Y'all saw that they just I don't know if y'all saw, but Johnson & Johnson just came out with a doggone depression medicine that they put MDMA in it. So basically, they're putting ecstasy in the microdosing in a syringe that you can shoot up your nose. They can cure depression. They can cure PTSD. But why would they? When there's so much more money in the medicine than the cure. So if you're in healthcare, that's why everybody's a damn CNA, because it is a field that will always have customers. It will always be busy. Okay. Ora says, I have Gerber for my boys since they were babies. Gerber is not bad, Miss Ora, but I want you to know that Gerber is a term life policy. There is no cash value. And since you do have term life, and this is for anybody that got term life, because sometimes we forget. You need to, because Miss Ora, your boys are older. Look and see when these policies end. Because if they ended at 60, 65, it's not bad. But if your children aren't living a reckless life, they will outlive that policy, and all that money that you paid has now gone down the drain. Now, it's good to have a safety net just in case that it does happen. I don't think anything is wrong with term life, but whole life is what we want. We want stuff that's going to cover us our whole entire life, not just a portion of it. Okay. And if you do get term life, that the one that lasts as far as it can go. And I think the longest one I've ever seen, and you could correct me if I'm wrong, Nicola, I believe the longest one I've ever seen was 70. Okay. Nicola says you could take money after 2 years, but it depends on how much money you have invested in it. So it's usually better 5 years or more. Right. I won't suggest anybody going to cash out money from their whole life policy if it has not been 5 years or more. Pay it and forget it. Okay. All right, so let me keep going, and then I'm gonna try to move on to what I really came on here to talk about. T. Jones, that thing, okay? Let's see. Baby girl, I'm glad you got one also. She said, my dad had all his kids in a paid up policy. This is why, and you know what? Parents that have done this, you need applause. Miss Ora, you need your applause. Because you did not have to do these things. You did not. Parents who did not, I ain't no judgment. We listen, but we don't judge. But I'm letting you know that these are things that we need to do. And if we have not done it, you still have time, because you are alive. And so is the person you want to put life insurance on, whether that's you or somebody else. But we need to be insured. Okay, but let me tell you this. When you get a job, they got life insurance on you. If you go in the entertainment industry, a rapper, a singer, them record companies, they got life insurance on you. You were born into the United States. Now they ain't gonna call it life insurance, but they get money from the Federal Reserve off of you. That's why people be trying to tell y'all that scam talk about you can go and get money from the Federal Reserve. Just put that number on the back of your birth certificate in, and you can pull out your portion. You can't do it. But does the government have, do they get paid off of your name, off of your straw man name? Absolutely. So if everybody else is making money off of you, why can't you? Why you can't take care of your family when you die, your death benefits everybody else, but it don't benefit your family? That don't make no sense to me. That is the math ain't mathing. That's working backwards. So if everybody else can get paid, you and your family members, well, you won't be, but your family members should be able to get paid off of you. All right. Okay, Miss Ora got a cancer policy. That's what I'm talking about. Because Cancer is just something that's popping up, and it don't even matter what color you look like. Women, you got fibroids, you got female problems, y'all got polyps, you got cysts, you got all these things. What they do? We trying to check and see if it's what? Cancerous. Why? Because they know it can turn into cancer. So if they know it, why y'all don't? Now you know. Okay. It says, what's the name of some good whole life insurance companies? There are tons of companies out there. Let me tell y'all. Now, when you say good, it's very difficult to know what a great a company is. Okay. At the end of the day, this is what I will say: life insurance companies, they don't work for you either. They work for their shareholders. Your job is go online. You can look at some of the reviews, but the main thing I need to worry about is how quick do they pay out. That's all I care about. Is when I die, how long do I gotta wait, or how long does my family gotta wait to be paid? How difficult y'all gonna make it to cut this check? Is y'all finna try to hold on to it because you might think it's homicide, y'all might think it's suicide, all of them things? That's what we want to know. But other than that, life insurance companies got one job, and that one job is to take care of their shareholders. But while they're doing that, they're gonna sell you some policies. They're gonna take your money and, of course, make it fatten the pockets of the shareholders. But as long as they pay out, I don't care. Okay, I've had quite a few different ones. Okay, but I don't want to say anybody is better than anyone, because I personally know that they're not my friends either. It's a business transaction, and that's all that it needs to be. So as long as they're taking my money and they're giving me what I paid for, and they pay out in the event of a passing, that's all they're required to do. All right. It says, it's Precious Living says, if I have a business with no income, can I use it with my business? I do have. It says, if I have a business with no income, can I use it with my business? I do have. 67. I don't understand that question. You have a business with no income and you got another business. So explain that, Precious Living, because that doesn't really make sense what you're saying to me. I apologize. Okay. All right. So I'm about to get on to some of this good stuff right here. Okay. Somebody said Mutual Omaha. All right. Mutual Omaha. I had them. I had Transamerica. I've had AAA. You got USA. Almost every bank has a life insurance division. Okay. So, I mean, go to your bank and see who they got. Okay. At the end of the day, all they're doing is buying and selling on your name. And at the end of the day, that's all you want them to do. Okay. Hey, Miss Cynthia, how you doing? Miss Cynthia says she liked and shared. I ain't seen you in a while. Miss Cynthia, I need you to text me if you do not have my number, because I know I tell you to email me, and honey, it gets way down in the email. But text me, because I got a whole bunch of links to send you for your son. Okay. Cece says, say I have a $50,000 policy. What happens once it's paid fully? Very good question. Once you pay your life insurance, now it don't. So, if you have a $50,000 policy and you're making payments towards that $50,000, and I think that y'all might think that you have $50,000, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, Nicola, but when you have a $50,000 life insurance policy, you're not paying money to pay up to $50,000. You are paying to keep the coverage so that they will cut you that check for $50,000 in the event you pass. I don't believe you pay them $5, $15, whatever, until it's paid to $50,000. I don't believe that's how it works. You pay them. Your whole purpose of paying is to keep the coverage. So once you have life insurance policy, and Nicola, let me know, it doesn't stop. You continue to pay until it's done. And let me know, Nicola, so I can let them know. All right. So hold that thought, CC, and I'm gonna let you know, because this our guru over here on YouTube, she gonna let me know. Somebody is saying John Hancock. I've seen the John Hancock too. Okay, hey Queen. All right. Somebody's saying Global Life. Okay, look at y'all. See, I love when we all share and come together and work together, because at the end of the day, baby, we are all crabs in this bucket. We just instead of pulling each other down, we just gonna push each other up so that somebody can help, because that's how your blessings come. That's why I don't hold no information from nobody. You want to know something, baby? If I don't know it, I'm gonna find it, or I'm gonna do just like I'm doing right now. I'm gonna cross-reference, get you this information, because you need it, I need it, they need it. We all do. Okay, so ain't nobody better than nobody. This is what rich folks, they hate each other. But one thing they'll do is sit at that table together, because their main goal is making more money. And we all the people below should be doing the same doggone thing. I ain't gotta be your friend. You ain't never gotta call me. You ain't even gotta tell me Merry Christmas or Happy Black History Month. Okay, y'all ain't gotta say none of that. But if I got something that you can use, I'm gonna give it to you because that's how we should be. All right. Okay, Darren says, what's a good insurance policy for people over 50? I have a whole life policy, but now the amount increases to pay and the payout has decreased. Well, Darren, that's unfortunate. I'm gonna have Nicola go on and get her your information and put that in the comments in here so some of these people can call you because Miss Nicola is a life insurance agent. Okay, and if she can't help you get it, she can at least answer your question and tell you what you need to be asking the next person. Okay, so if you don't mind, Nicola, boom, there you go. You got some people asking questions. Here go your chance. Do your thing. Okay, Miss Precious says, got you, no worries. I was wondering if I have a business bank account with statement, can I Uber that as deduction on taxes? So if you, and so, all right, I'm glad we might as well go on and talk about taxes real quick. If you got a business, okay, if you Uber, you are already a 1099. There's no reason for you to add your business to your taxes for no write-offs because Ubering is a self-employed job. So you don't need to add anything else to do any write-offs. Okay. Now, if you have a business and you don't have a job like Uber or any of those things, and now let me tell you, the IRS is cracking down. I said I wasn't gonna say nothing, but I'm like, you know what? I don't care. I'm gonna tell y'all. They sure called. Okay. They've been calling, they've been sending letters, and they want to see documentation, and they're looking for discrepancies, and they're looking for patterns in what you do. So I said, you know what? If they calling, I'm gonna take it as, all right, certain things got to be tightened up because they got questions, and that's one thing I don't want them doing is asking no questions. Now, so I hope I answered your question, Precious Living. You work for Uber, you don't need no business to write off no expenses because you already got it. Please do. That's right. And let me just add this too. Y'all can always book a call, shamikasaves.com. Please go to my website. $50 ain't gonna hurt none of y'all to sit on the phone and get all of this, but personalized for your situation versus, I love talking general, but some of y'all have specific questions and y'all might not want to share it all on here. So thank you very much, Miss Precious. The site is up. Please patronize and book the call. And yes, ma'am, I will get you your info. Okay. It says, baby girl says you can add to your policy. You can, but I don't know if I will add to the policy that Miss Darylyn got because I don't want anyone to talk about they're going to decrease my payout. I have not heard me get a $50,000 policy and now they want. The only time your payout is less than what you booked, than what you originally bought is because you withdrew money. So if you have a $50,000 policy and you already borrowed $10,000, your payout is only going to be $40,000 because you already took 10. So to me, that's the only time I've seen the policy decrease. If I get a letter telling me that my policy has decreased from my $100,000 policy to 80, I'm gone because that ain't what I signed up for. Nor did I sign up for any of my premiums to increase. So that's another question. Y'all looking for life insurance? You need to make sure that you have a premium that is the same from the day you start to the day you die. It should not change. The only ones that change are term life policies. And the reason term life policies change is because you're getting older. And for example, veterans can get free life insurance policies up to like $40,000, right? Term life. But if you, every 5 years, it's going to increase, your premium going to increase. So on the 5th of everything, 65, 70, 75, 80, 85, y'all get it. You're going to be paying more. And at the end of the day, is it really worth it? Or could you just take that same amount of dollars and put it in a bank account, a high yield savings account, or into the stock market or into Bitcoin and make your money that way? So some of these things y'all got to see, especially when you're talking about putting life insurance on people that are older and life insurance policies on people who have pre-existing conditions, okay? Because a life insurance company will try to find any reason to disqualify you from not being able to get life insurance, okay? So if you get a policy, please make it your business to keep that policy, because if you have a lapse, and sometimes they won't even take you when you come back, you got to wait 2 years. Well, anything can happen in 2 years. Oh, now all of a sudden they're looking at your medical records. Oh, you had a high blood pressure reading. Oh, you going to the psychiatrist. You might be crazy. Oh, that means you're high risk. We're gonna raise your we're gonna raise the premium amount. And so this is why I say to get it on these kids when they're young, because they don't have no history at that age. And it will stay the same throughout. Okay. Okay, what else I want to tell you about taxes? So since it's over 8, it's fine. We're just gonna stay here till I'm done. So I was reading today that so I was telling y'all that the IRS, who's been following me, y'all know the IRS came out with their free tax filing. Well, Elon Musk is saying that he does not want that program to be around. So it's crazy, guys. The government spent all this damn money getting this program up and running, only for federal because it don't do state, only for this new administration to come in and go, nah, we don't need that. So what does that mean? Well, we don't know everything that it means, but one, it means that it's possible that it won't be here next year. One, two, I don't even know how many people use it. So they're basically trying to look at it as it's a waste of money. 3, they have decided to pull the people who were working on managing the site and who were looking over the taxes that were done through this free file. They have basically taken those employees and said, no, we don't want y'all focusing on this. Focus on all these other things, which is also why I strongly have been saying that people are probably, which is why the IRS is calling folks. And if you're a paid tax preparer, they calling. They sending out letters. They're looking for stuff. Why? Because they want somebody to pay the debt back. And if y'all looked at my stories, y'all will see that the tax brackets are planning to be changed, not this year because it's already set, but for the next year. Okay, so now they're going to, and I'm gonna see if I can bring it up real quick. I should still have the picture. So basically, individuals who are in the top 1% tax bracket, they got a tax cut. Everybody else got taxes increased, which means you will be paying more in taxes. Okay, that means they're going to look at more of your income and tax more of it, so that they're going to tax more of your income, which means you'll have a smaller tax return. Okay, because they remember every year the tax brackets change. Okay, they may say, well, from $0 to 15,000, you only got to pay 10%. Now they want $0 to $8,000. I'm just using an example. Y'all pay 10%, but everybody from 8 to 15, now y'all 12%. So you get what I'm saying? So your income, you're making good income, but you're going to be paying more taxes because they're shifting these brackets around. So these are things that y'all might not necessarily be paying attention to because you think, I don't care, I'm just going to work, I'm getting a check. But y'all need to start looking this year, because what happens this year will go into effect next year when you file your taxes. Okay, so are they doing those things? Absolutely. Hold on. And if y'all got a question, let me see if y'all ask it, because I had one more thing I want to talk about, because a lot of people been asking about this food stamp thing too. Tracy, it is on the back of my. Okay, if you're a veteran, and I can tell you exactly where you need to find it, you can pull up one of your letters that you get from the VA, like one of your decision letters, and you can look through those pages. It'll tell you the life insurance. Now they have the old VGLI. Those people are the ones that get a free amount up to a certain amount, and now they got the VA Life. I personally don't think it's worth it. I don't like the VA life insurance policy. I think it's just too high. They probably have a little rinky-dink company that has high rates. You can go and look, but I believe for the VA Life, they don't allow it to be free. I think you have to have, I want to say 100% disability. I would go and get the letter, but I ain't trying to show y'all all this fineness, so I'm not trying to get up right now. But send me a message on shamikasaves.com. Y'all can also send me a message. I'll take a screenshot to show you. It is a little blurb. I saw it last night. But that could be under the old VGLI, not this new VA Life. So the VA has changed the life insurance, because they was bad before, but they worse now. Okay. So I would not suggest you get anything with them unless you get free. If it's not free, go on out in the world, out here in the civilian sector, and find somebody else and compare those rates. And again, it's term life. I don't know if you want term life. I personally say go and get you some life insurance elsewhere with somebody that will give you a better rate, hopefully a whole life, so that you can have cash value to borrow. Okay. Thank you, Nicola. Okay, so I was correct about that. So whoever asked me that question, C, you asked me that question about the 50,000. No, you keep paying forever. I didn't think so. I'm like, you don't pay until you reach a certain amount. So once you get life insurance, this is until you die. Okay. But let me add this, because I forgot to tell y'all, when y'all do get life insurance, this is the greatest part about it, is it is the best way to transfer wealth without paying taxes. It is probably the only way that you could transfer wealth. You could do some things through taxes and gifting people stuff and all that, but that's into your taxes. But just transferring wealth, so you can get $1 million policy, $1 million policy. You can die, and whoever you make the beneficiary becomes a millionaire, and they don't even pay taxes. Do y'all know how big that is, to be able to give somebody the opportunity to start out as a millionaire, whereas we didn't get that opportunity? And they're not going to be an $850,000 heir. They're going to be a $1 million heir, because there's no taxes taken out. And yes, I just made up those words, a thousandaire and all that. I just made it up. But y'all get where I'm trying to say. It is the best way to transfer wealth to your loved ones, and you ain't got to worry about demand being in your business, because they do not charge taxes on that money. Okay. Hold on now. Let me go on and say something real quick, because I feel like I got a little froster over here. So I'm gonna tell you, sir, get off my live and stop harassing me, because I do believe I know who you are. And if you are who I think you are, just know I'm gonna see you soon, and I know where I'm gonna put you. Okay, moving right along. And for those who've been with me for a while, y'all probably know who I'm talking about and talking to. But yeah, it's always somebody out there got to do the most. That always got to try to be all in your mess, in your business, and harassing and all that. But that just lets me know that I'm doing a good job, because even the stalkers and harassers got to come on my live. And thank you for my view, and thank you for commenting. Okay. All right. Nicole LaCour, she says, my family and I have critical illness, disability, accident, etc. I appreciate that. Thank you. Do you have life insurance, Nicole? So I'm glad you got all them types of insurance. If you can afford to get all of them, get them. But if not, just do life insurance. Let's at least start there. Nicola says, number 47 gave Elon Musk access to our Social Security information to do God knows what with. Exactly. This is another thing that I'm very afraid of. Y'all saw Ramaswamy. Him and Elon Musk was working together in the Doge, supposed to be finding ways to make the government more efficient. And now them two fools can't get along. And even though Ramaswamy is trying to be politically correct, I know they had a penis measuring contest, and basically he didn't have time for it. And so he went on and got on and decided he wanted to do something else. But just like he did say, because I listened to his interview, Elon Musk wants to make everything automated. Now, there's nothing wrong with that, but the problem is they are getting more and more and more into our business, okay? And it's very upsetting, and I'm not gonna lie, I be dealing with myself every day and have to pray very, very hard because it is upsetting all the things that is taking place. I'm just keeping it real. All right, so I want to talk about these food stamps real quick, and I'm gonna let y'all go. For those that did not know, some of the food stamp requirements are supposed to be changing. Let me pull it up. Okay. So, so SNAP, EBT, whatever you want to call it. If y'all looked at Project 2025, y'all do not have to read that 900-page book, but y'all do need to look at the highlights of what it is that they are trying to do. And even though Trump said that he did not know anything about it, he lied, because all of these policies that he's putting out aligns directly with Project 2025. And you may think that these things are great, like everybody's cheering, yay, they're gonna get rid of income tax. Woo! Y'all crazy. I'm just gonna tell you to your face. If you are happy they're gonna take income taxes away, then I want to see your grocery bill. Okay? Because the money is gonna come from somewhere. So do not be sitting here. And this is just me, and maybe because I was in the military, but I'd rather them take my money than them to raise the prices and make me obligate myself to spend more of my money. At least if they take my money, I can blame it. I can blame being broke on them. But I cannot, it's hard for me to justify paying for a $27 steak at a grocery store when I can have them take 17, $10 of my money and leave me with 17. I can buy me an $8 steak. But if there's nobody to take these funds to use for what we need, then we are going to be stuck paying for it. What's going to happen when you run into a pothole in your street? Where are they going to get that money to fix it from? Okay. What's going to happen when the street lights go out? And now they're breaking into your homes because your state government don't want to do nothing because they ain't got no money from you. Oh, that's right. They're going to probably raise them sales tax in your state. Oh, that's right. Some of these states that don't, some of these states that don't have state income tax, they probably will. Because they gotta be able to get the money from somewhere. See, people are only looking at these superficial things and they cheering and they so happy because they thinking, yeah, we're getting a man out of our business. Sometimes that man needs to be in your business because if not, you're gonna let this other man in your business and he's gonna make your life miserable and raise these prices to where you can't afford anything. And then you're really gonna be crying because, and let me get to these food stamps, okay? Because I had a thing saying exactly what they wanted to do. This, I'm wondering, is this the one? Is this the article right here of what he is trying? Okay, so hold on, where is it? I printed it out and then it didn't print, and then I looked. Okay, so basically, Trump is trying to do a few things. They're gonna let the states. Hold on, I'm gonna do this. Is what I'm gonna do. Wait a minute, y'all. Wait a minute. Hold on. And y'all got any questions? Go ahead and ask them real quick. Okay. Let me. All right, let me tell you. Well, I'm telling you, it's just news ain't no good news. It just ain't no good news. Oh, here it is. This is the one I had earlier. Okay. So, let me get to the things that he wants to do. All right. So it says they want to cap the benefits. That's what these are things that they're going to have to, they're saying that it's going to have to be voted upon. But y'all need to remember, both of the House and the Senate is Republican, and ain't no telling who he got tapes on, who he gonna force to do whatever. Because you see what he doing. He trying to make the man, the director of the FBI, fire people who prosecuted him. And the last time I checked, when you work for the government, you gotta do what the government tell you to do. So why would you try to fire these same people who were only doing their job only because you didn't like that they prosecuted you? Stupid. Okay, you should never be fired for doing your job, but these people are. Okay, so it's both Republican on both sides. Okay, so this is what they're saying they're trying to do. They're saying that Congress is could be considering turning SNAP into a grant, meaning the states would have to apply to get these funds from the federal government through a grant, and then the states will be left to distribute however they choose. And the state, now if y'all didn't know, states right now they just apply through the department. They don't do they don't do block grants. They just apply through Health and Human Services. They get a portion, they get a certain amount, and then they distribute. States all have to pay a portion of that money back. If y'all did not know, this is why people are on child support. And when you see that it shows up on your credit report, it's because the state is going to say you owe them, but who you really owe is the federal government. Okay, so the state has to put it on your credit because the state right now is covering your debt. So when people don't pay child support, it's because you're using federal benefits that the federal government gave to the state gave to the parent, and the state wants to be paid back because the state has to pay the government back. Did y'all see that step down? Federal to the state, state to the person. Now they want you to pay them back with child support so they can pay, so the state can now pay the federal government back. Okay, so if they are going to make this a grant, well, hell, didn't Trump just pull the grants and say you can't get no money. So what does that mean? Does that mean that now if I go and we want to get food stamps and apply for it, and he says no, you're not gonna be able to borrow nothing, then now you're not gonna be able to have no food stamps? A lot of states like Florida, Ron DeSantis, he refuses to apply for food stamps to be used in the summertime. Why? Because he doesn't want to have to pay that back. Okay, he doesn't. He will only do it during regular school. This regular school year, he does not do it in the summertime, which is why these parents got to give their kids lunches, or these kids go hungry, and it's unfortunate. Okay, it says that what else do they say? Hold on, because I'm trying to read this really fast. Hold on, they talk about the farm bill. Okay, so it says, okay, so now it says, here goes some things that they're saying on proposed cuts to families. It says that they may require older Americans to keep working in order to receive SNAP. Now that's ridiculous, especially for some of these older individuals. This is a benefit that they worked for, okay? But guess what? People ain't paying no taxes. They're probably not getting enough from the Medicare and Social Security because everybody wants to work under the table job or getting paid in cash. So now they are going, it says that proposals in FY 2020 and FY 21 budgets would have replaced two existing work requirements with a single policy and expanded it to recipients as old as 64, up from the current age of 59. So let's see. Yeah, so to me that's crazy. You got to work all the way up. So basically, they have to work, continue working, I guess, until they get to full retirement age to get Social Security, and then now they don't have to work anymore to get food stamps. 64 is not really that old because some people are 64 and they look pretty damn good. But these are some of the things. Now, these are old fiscal year policies. We don't know what they're doing 23, 24, 25, and going forward. This is just some of the old stuff. They're also saying that they're looking at having the states to pay for 25% of SNAP benefits. Now, what they're not saying is the percentage that they were paying before, okay? 25% doesn't sound like a lot, but if this is an increase from what they've been paying, what does that mean for the people that don't pay child support now? What does that look like for your state and your benefits that you get from the government right now? You may not be able to qualify for certain things because your governor may say, well, we don't want to pay. And this is just for food stamps. They got to pay for a lot of other programs. None of the programs that y'all get access to come from your state. It comes from the federal government given to your state. So if they got to pay a percentage, now these percentages are starting to add up, which means it's less and less and less of what you can get if your governor does not agree and does not want to pay. Just like I said, DeSantis does not take food stamps out in the summertime because he don't want to pay. Okay? So, and then what's another thing? Then it's saying they're looking at shifting a portion of the benefits to food boxes. Now, I don't even know. Okay, so basically food boxes are like the Meals on Wheels. So now to me, that's crazy. If they do that, you do not even have the right to get your own groceries because somebody gonna pick what you want, put it in a box, pick what they want you to have, put it in a box and send it to you. Now, you know what that sounds like? And I don't know if y'all grew up on it, but I did. It sounds like WIC. Okay? With WIC, we were told powdered milk, skim milk, homogenized milk. I don't even think you could get skim milk. You had to get this type of cheese. You had to get this type of peanut butter. You can only get this type of apple juice. So if they do food boxes, you're not even going to go shopping. Somebody going to deliver you some food. Okay? Y'all want that? Maybe you do. I don't. I just think it's crazy. And then it says they're looking at capping the funding to the state. So it says the federal government typically covers half of the state administrative expenses. So if they put a cap on it, guess what that means? If you got a nice governor, it may not mean anything. That means that your state going to find a way to be able to pay for it by raising costs everywhere else. Oh, that means property taxes go up, sales taxes could increase. That means let's put more pressure on our police to pull you over because we need the revenue from tickets. So all of these things that could happen. Now, none of this has passed. The only reason why I'm talking about it is because a lot of people don't ask about it. And there are a lot of people that are recipients of these things. And we should be paying attention to what could possibly be coming down. But I want y'all to be paying attention to what y'all cheering for, because some of this stuff y'all cheering for gonna be the same thing that y'all gonna be crying about later. Because these are programs that one, people been using, people need, but at the same time, if they cut these things out and or limit how much they're gonna give out, then somebody's gonna have to find a way to make up that money that they were used to getting. This is the part that is scary, okay? And this is the part that I don't want y'all to forget about. All right. I just saw a picture the other day, people fighting in the grocery store because folks is in there getting eggs, and they getting eggs like they don't have no, they getting all the eggs. Now, when I go grocery shopping, you know what they tell me? I can't get no more than 2. Can't get no more than 2 half a carton. Can't get no more than 2. Places like Costco, I saw one family had about 20 things, and not the 24. They had the 60 count. They had a 60 count, about 20 of those in their cart, getting eggs so that nobody else couldn't get none. These are the times that we should be. And what can we do? There's not too much that we can do. Why? Because it's Republican. It's not looking the way that we want it to look. But I'm giving y'all this information so that y'all can get out. Look, I told somebody the other day, and I'm gonna tell y'all now: if y'all ain't hitting up these food banks right now, before everybody start catching on that the food banks is where y'all gonna get these food, to get these groceries from. Y'all people gonna be out there fighting at the food banks. People gonna be out there cutting lines, trying to get robbing food banks. It will happen, guys. Please don't think that it won't. Hungry people will do anything. Poor people will do anything. That means break into your house, rob you, steal from you, the whole 9. And if you don't believe me, watch the news. Okay? So let me see if I talked about everything. And I'm looking at what y'all saying to me. Let me just make sure I went over everything real quick. Hold on. Let me scroll through my stuff. So I make sure, and then I'm gonna look and see if y'all are asking me NC questions. Yeah, I think I got it all. Look, I wish y'all could see this picture of these people. Look at all them damn eggs. Y'all see all them eggs? These people need to be beat up. Eggs. I probably not look. I don't want to distracted one of them, and when they got all them eggs, okay? And they done blurred out their faces because they know that they should not be in there getting them eggs like that, being greedy, okay? But you know what somebody gonna do? They gonna catch them outside. They're gonna wait and let them pay for them, and they're gonna knock that head off and turn around and get them eggs, okay? All right, so real quick, I'm gonna let y'all know, I appreciate y'all watching and everything. I wanted to tell y'all, I just came back from a veterans retreat. It was really, really, really wonderful. If anybody is a veteran, or if you know a veteran, there are tons of retreats. It is tons of, I call them free vacations and free therapy. Y'all should be going, but I just wanted to let y'all know because I thought this was the neatest thing ever. I don't know how many of y'all are familiar with the Olympic gymnastics girls that were saying that they were touched by the doctor when they were doing the OBGYN. I don't know if y'all remember that. Y'all let me know if y'all remember that, okay? Roll Tide NFL Sports. I am not talking about that here. You can book an appointment, okay? But if y'all remember that, where I had my retreat, guess where it was at? It was at the Olympic training grounds where all of this took place, okay? Queenie, I can't tell you why eggs expire. That is not for me. I am not a biology type of person. Somebody else might be able to answer that question for you, okay? But it was very creepy to find out that where we had this retreat was the same place where this was happening to those girls, which is very, very sad. But the feds basically came in, snatched and took everything from these people, turned it into a federal facility for training for a little while, and then they turned around and gave it to a nonprofit. And now that same place that was used to harm other individuals is now being used to heal people. So, and if anybody cares, it's called Operation Red Wings. If anybody, and let me tell you, there's hundreds more. Okay. A lot of people do these veteran retreats to get a free way to go around the world to travel places, Hawaii, the Smoky Mountains, Colorado, LA, all kind of places. As a matter of fact, I'm headed off to another one. So I'm hoping that I'll be able to do this on Monday. If I may have to do it from the airport, but I just wanted y'all to know, if you know veterans, let them know that there is a place that they could go and get therapy for military sexual trauma, for PTSD, for moral injury, for if you're disabled, all those kind of things. They have a place for them, which is great. I feel it should be a place like this for everybody, but it's not at this moment. But these are some of the places that you should come. And I just wanted to say that I thought it was so neat to see they left so much Olympic stuff behind, y'all. You will not believe. Okay, I ain't gonna say what we found, but they left a lot of stuff behind. So if y'all see some stuff on eBay, it's not gonna say Shamika saves, but you might see some stuff on eBay, okay? But it was really neat to be able to go to this place and be around other veterans and talk about stuff that most of the time we don't get a chance to discuss with other people because people don't get it. And my favorite part was equine therapy, basically where you go out and you're with the horses, and the horses can feel your energy and they love on you. They listen to you. You brush them. You walk them. It was just the neatest thing. And anytime I get an opportunity to do something that I can share with somebody else, not just information, I don't mind sharing experiences. Also, let me show y'all. This was me. If y'all can see, let me show. This was me. Y'all see me and my horse. This is me and my horse. Probably the light's probably too bright, but that's me and my horse. Okay. Yes, your girl was looking a little toe back, but it didn't matter because I was on a retreat and I was trying to get my life. So I wasn't trying to be cute, okay? But so if anybody wants any of those retreats, if you got my phone number, send me a text, because it's just easy for me to text them all to you so that you are able to partake. Because I'm gonna tell you something about the government. Now, this ain't gonna change, even with Trump in the house. If you do not use the money that they give you, you lose the money. So anytime these people have money to give, y'all need to take advantage. This is why I don't care when people say, oh, you telling people to do things, you're not telling people to do the right thing or they shouldn't be using this. Yes, the hell you should. Because if they give you $1 million to spend and you only spending 500,000, you know how much they're going to give you next year? 350. Okay? So use these programs that the government sets out. Includes food stamps, includes all of these other programs. Utilize them, because if you don't, it won't be there. Okay, which is why I'm hoping that Obamacare stays around, because a lot of people need to be able to have health insurance. Okay, so let me see what questions y'all got, and then we will go. Okay, good, Nicole. So you remember? So I'm actually gonna watch the Netflix special on it I think it's called Athlete A or whatever it is. But I'm actually gonna watch the Netflix special because I don't know too much about the story, but to be out there and to feel that energy, it was creepy at this place. I ain't even gonna lie, it really was, especially after you found out the stuff that happened out there. But I'm glad that they're using it for something better. Okay, beautiful place, creepy at night. And if you are a parent and you have kids and somebody tells you to drop your children off and you can't go on the property or you can't be there, red flag. Okay, everybody that I've seen that has dropped their kids off with somebody and the parents were not allowed, Usher, let me keep going, all the people who dropped their kids off with Diddy and all these things, now y'all seeing what they've been doing. It's the reason that they separate. Anybody who is an abuser always separates the person from their family, because that is the only way to have access to them, by leaving everybody else out. And that's exactly how these people were able to gain access to these kids, to do these things to these girls, because they made these parents leave them alone. And that's a no. So I'm gonna see what y'all saying, and then if y'all ain't got nothing, then I ain't got nothing either. Okay. It says they are going to freeze then, but they are greedy. Yes, they are. It says, how can I find out if my student loan is set up for offset? You can call the offset hotline, 800-304-3104. Let me say it again, 800-304-3104. Call that number, put your social security number in. It will tell you if you have an offset if they're going to take any money from your taxes. You definitely need to know. That's very, very important. Okay, but I think I got it all. And just to clear something up real quick, a lot of people were saying that Trump was going to stop federal benefits because he froze all the programs. He did not freeze those programs. These individual programs, he did not freeze those. You still will be able to get them. That doesn't mean the programs aren't going to change, though. Okay, so that's what we need to keep an eye on. They probably gonna keep giving out Social Security and food stamps and all. Yeah, they're gonna keep that because what they don't want is for people to go crazy and lose their mind. But what they're gonna do in the background is they're gonna slowly change the way you have to access it. Bill Clinton tried to do it. I don't think they did it in Biden or the Obama administration, but they definitely have tried other ways to tell you that if you want these programs, now you got to work. Now you got to look for job search. Now you got to this. So they will make it they will make more obstacles to make it a little harder. 800-304-3104. That is the number for the Treasury Offset Hotline. I done been saying it so much, it's right up here in the brain. 304-3104. All you got to do is call, put your Social Security number in, and they will let you know. All right, so it is 8:38. I'm way over time, but I appreciate y'all with y'all patience and tuning in. Please remember, I have a YouTube channel. Now, I ain't even made any new videos because my old videos are very relevant for today, okay? So check your girl out. Look at what I talk about credit. Look at what I talk about with bankruptcies. Yeah, I even talk about people with CPNs because, well, hell, they charging y'all for it. At least y'all can have somebody that tell you how to do your own without paying somebody $5,000. It doesn't mean I agree with using it, but I do understand. And we listen and we don't judge over here. And neither do I encourage in it. Remember, everything I say is for entertainment and educational purposes because people is watching. Okay, so I love y'all. Be blessed. Be encouraged. shamikasaves.com. Hit me up. You got my number. Text me. Call me. Couple of y'all, okay? I done told you, I done call y'all out. Call me, let me know. Now I have work to do. Y'all have a good evening, and I hope y'all walked away with something. I hope to be here. Yeah, I will be on Wednesday because Monday I may not. So I will be back here on Wednesday, and we will see what else is new that I can bring to y'all. So y'all, I'll talk to y'all later. Y'all have a good one. Bye. See y'all. Bye, y'all. Look, I'm trying to figure out how to turn this thing off. Okay, finna turn it off now. Bye. See y'all, TikTok. Y'all have a good one.